Hello and welcome back to Speed Freak Garage, home of power sports on YouTube. So first and foremost, I want to apologize for the terrible audio quality. This is the only video in this entire series that is going to be in this format on a computer monitor. All the rest of the series is going to be real life video in the real world. So please bear with me on this. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why am I looking at buying a house in Japan? However, I'll spare you the details and just kind of throw you into this plan. So, where am I buying a house? Why? What am I going to do? So, if I pull up Google Maps here, it'll all make sense real quick. If we go to Ebisu Circuit, which is arguably one of the best drifting tracks in the world, and then we zoom out, you start seeing all these populated areas. We have Fukushima, we have Inawashiro, Nihonmatsu, Otama, Motomiya, Kawamata. And every single one of these areas, city, towns, townships, are within a 30-minute drive of Ebisu Circuit. So hopefully now you guys are like, oh, I get it. I get it. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for an Akiya, which is an abandoned home in Japan. I'm going to buy it, I'm going to renovate it, and then I'm going to either buy one that has a garage already, or I'm going to build or expand on in a garage. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rent out garage spaces. I'm going to possibly even rent out drift cars, and I'm going to rent out rooms for the people who are coming over for their garage spaces or drift cars. And in the winter, in Iwashiro, you can actually see this massive ski resort from all the way up here. And Inawashiro is a hot spring town. There's ski resorts, so there's things to do in the winter for Airbnb. But then in the spring, summer, and fall, it's all going to be about the motorsports. Okay, so the first step of this process, which I'm going to kind of gloss over because I'm still struggling a little bit, is finding a realtor. So right now, I've picked out 3 realtors that I am currently talking to: Akiya Helper, Akiya and Inaka, and Mare. And I haven't chosen one yet, but I'm getting close. I've already bought the plane tickets, though, for the Thanksgiving week. As you might be able to see in the bottom right corner, it is October 24th, and I have plane tickets for Thanksgiving week, and I don't have a contract with a realtor yet. So you got to find yourself a realtor that knows Japanese and English, and that, for example, offers services, searching for Akiya, visiting them, contract support, and then other stuff, upgrading the house, taxes and utilities. And all 3 of these all do that. And it's important because buying a house is difficult. The contracts are all in Japanese, getting your utilities set up, renovating. How are you going to talk to a contractor if you can't speak Japanese well enough to explain how you want the home remodeled, especially if you've got, issues to take care of. But again, we're going to kind of skip over this, and then we are going to go right into the next part. Okay, so with the knowledge at hand of Ebisu Circuit's location, it's right nearby the 459 highway and the 115 highway, and then the major highway, Highway 4 here. So we have this kind of location, and now we need to find a place that has a big enough house to rent rooms and enough land to build a garage or an existing garage. And my understanding is it needs to be mixed use, which is residential and commercial. Now, Airbnb, I don't believe is considered commercial, but I believe that renting a garage or renting a drift car would probably potentially be commercial, and I could get myself in trouble if I don't have the correct property zoning or allowances. So the first thing I did was a huge mistake and threw $50 in the trash, and I went to the All Akiya's website, which, let's say you're looking around Tokyo, yeah, this website's probably fine. I gave them the $50 for the advanced searches. Of course, I'm not logged in. Okay, now that I'm logged in, you can see right away, no longer available. Okay, if it's not available, get it off the website. Again, I threw my $50 in the trash, but what it lets you do is it lets you save searches. I have a search in Fukushima, Motomiya, Otama, Kawamata, Inawashiro, and Nihonmatsu. Those are all within 30 minutes of Ebisu. And I've generally been sorting by larger land. And the problem is, as you go and you sort by larger land, And then there's typos where they forgot a decimal point, and so you got a super tiny house with no land or whatever. And then, like, let's say you see something cool is no longer available. Thanks. Thank you so much for putting this on this for no reason. But anyway, again, the All Akiya's website, don't throw your money in the trash. I mean, if you want to look on it for free, yeah, but seriously, don't throw your money in the trash. Like this says it has land of 7,000 meters squared, which divide by 4 to get your acreage. And it's just a little tiny condo, and it's not even available. Okay, I'm so mad I threw $50 away. But anyway, so screw this website. I found a better website, and there's many, 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 many websites. But to me, a native Japanese website, which is athome.co.jp, I set up a custom search and saved the hyperlink for all of those townships together in one search. And then I sorted by largest land area, and then I have another search where I sorted by largest building. However, I'm going to skip over all this. I mean, I guess let me at least let me show you the whole, oh boy, the whole search procedure. So what you want to do is search for apartments, houses, and land all at once. It's important. And then in my case, I chose Fukushima, and then I want newly built house, used attached house, and land, and then search by region. Okay, then we have Fukushima, Nihonmatsu, Motomiya, Atama, and then Kawamata, and then Inawashiro, and then am I missing one? I might be missing one. But anyway, so, and then you go down here and you can kind of, change some of these. I didn't really change them. I turned off residential land only. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. And then search. And it says 0 items every time. I don't know why. And then if we go to largest land first, then it does that. Or in order of exclusive use building area. So that's a really weird translation, but it's basically largest building. So I spent hours and hours and hours and hours searching. And I came up with all these. So I'm just going to kind of start popping. I'm going to close Ebisu because I've already said everything's within about 30 minutes, except one of them. So I'm going to open this. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through and show you my 2 top choices first. That way you can kind of just see what I really like. And then if you want to watch through the rest of it, that's fine. So the very first number 1 choice I want to go look at is this old abandoned farmhouse. And if you just do basic math, move the decimal places, it's $110,000. It's actually a lot cheaper because of the exchange rate, but that's an easy estimate. And then it has 3,000 meters squared, so divide by 4, so 1 point something acres. But it's got a big house with a lot of potential rooms that you could potentially remodel into rentable bedrooms. It would need a second bathroom. It's got a weird storehouse, another weird storehouse, another weird storehouse, some kind of smoker. I don't think it's a fridge. I think it's some kind of smoker. And then a pump house, I believe, and then a little parking thing. And then it's got these old ass, I don't even know what they are, but you could easily raise that and build a huge garage, and it's got its own street entrance. That's legit. And then it has an outbuilding, a 2-story outbuilding with parking around the back. You could do 2 private Airbnb suites, and then you have parking around the back, and you have land for more garage space. And so basically you got all these buildings on this land, and across the street you have that outbuilding. That's nuts. Like, I want to see this. I want to go see this for Thanksgiving. Like, I have to see this. And you can kind of look at the map location, and they won't give you an address, which is frustrating, but you can kind of take this location and just bang it into Google Maps and kind of just half-ass pick it. And basically what you do is you jump on the main highway 4, come down to 459, and Ebisu's right there. 30 minutes, 35 minutes, no problem. So this one's pretty cool. And what's really cool, it says recommended use, residential, commercial, guest house, cafe, repair shop. So the locality that is selling this abandoned farmhouse, they want you to use it for a business, for a guest house, for a car shop. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, this is like this is perfect. But the problem is we don't know if this listing is still valid. It could easily be gone. And if I just contact the realtor that's on this listing, they're not going to know English. They're not going to want to help. So you have to use, your other realtor who can do all the translating and whatever. But I'm going to go see this. I'm going to make a point to go see this somehow. And then close that one out. The other one that I really, really, really absolutely must see. So this one is suspiciously cheap. It's only 68. Wait, is this the one I think it is? Hold on. Yeah. This is the one. So it's only $68,000, which again is suspiciously cheap. It's got a little over a quarter acre, which really isn't much. However, I think the reason why it's so cheap is the sewer and water is not hooked up, and when you buy it, you're required to hook up sewer and water. But if you scroll out, look where it is. It's in Inawashiro, 25 minutes from Ebisu, in a hot spring town, right next to all the ski resorts. So you have hot springs, you have ski resorts, you have Ebisu, you have this beautiful, beautiful mountain lake. I mean, this house is high on my list. I don't care if I have to spend double the price of the house to remodel it and make it livable. It's a great location. And what's wild is if you switch to satellite view, so here's the house. It's got two storehouses, which could easily be converted into a garage or workshop. And then across the street here, it has a 2-car garage with a loft. A 2-car garage across the street. And all this property here belongs to this house. So you get this house, storehouse, garage. This storehouse is as big as the garage. Like legit, I could probably put a 2-post lift in there. This would be the workshop. This would be just storing stuff. And then this would be parking daily drivers because it looks like there's a street entrance, maybe. It's crazy. But let me show you this. So for $68,000, you get, it just needs some work. But look at how beautiful it is on the inside. Nobody wants it because they don't want to pay for the plumbing and sewer hookup and all the repairs and costs that has to go with that. Nobody has $50,000 cash to just throw at a sewer repair. The kitchen is a little dated. The floor is probably the only thing I would redo right away. The kitchen itself, whatever. The bathroom needs a small remodel, but it's got a nice tile wall. It's got a decent tub, but it looks like it's missing some of the newer bathroom amenities that Japanese bathrooms come with. It's got a little vanity sink. Beautiful, beautiful room. Like, how is this price right? This is falling apart. So the storehouse needs major work. I believe this is the other storehouse. I mean, the ceiling is pretty low, but you could get a short 2-post lift in there. That beam looks important though, so I don't know. Maybe just storage. You could just store vehicles in there and not. But look at this garage. It's got a loft. You can see the windows. And if you look inside, they built stairs and they built like a sort of kind of second story. It's almost like a hangout room or clubhouse, but there's no pictures up there. And I can't really figure out. This just barely looks tall enough to stand up in. So I'm not sure why there's windows in there unless the windows are maybe right here and just going into the garage. I'm not sure. And then here's that map. So you even get whatever this is. I think it's just trees that you have to keep, but you get the buildings and you get the garage. That's nuts. That's totally nuts for 68 grand. Like, this is crazy. Wait, hold on. 11,000 meters squared? Yeah, see, they missed a decimal place. There's no way it's 11,000. But anyway. But yeah, so you got this map, Hot Spring Town. So those two I have to absolutely go see. I will roll over dead if before I miss seeing those two properties for Thanksgiving week. Like, I seriously have to see them. Seriously. Anyway, let me show you some of the other cool stuff. This is an abandoned campground. And I could go on for an hour about this place, but the problem is if you scroll down, there's a aha gotcha. which is why it's so cheap. You have to do a national land law notification when you purchase this, meaning you have to send a form or letter or something to the Prime Minister of Japan. That's the president of Japan, telling her, now her, that you are buying this very massive piece of land that is potentially nearby something important. I don't remember. I mean, so the land law is either something super important is there, kind of like a military base or whatever, or it's just so much land. They're like, why is this foreigner buying all this land? What are they going to do with it? It's a campground, chill. But anyway, so it's really cool. It's an abandoned campground, and it needs work. I mean, it's $190,000, but it's 5 acres of land in Japan all to yourself. Look at this. There's parking. There's more parking. There's more parking. And then there's the main house, and there's a river nearby, the main cabin thing, more cabins, more cabin. And then there's like rental cabins, which would probably need bathrooms installed because I'm an American. I know how Americans are. They want a nice, comfy bathroom. Campfire area, outdoor sinks, stainless, benches. This is nuts. This is nuts. $190,000 for 5 acres in Japan. And this is 45 minutes from Ebisu, though, which is why it's not really on my to-do list to go look at. I mean, it's a public. I don't know if it's public. I might just drive there if I have time and take a look. But again, not big on the list. But look at this. They got a big storeroom, another storeroom. They got an entry hall. They got a kitchen that needs totally gutted and redone. They got a super nice lounge area. Look at this. They got more lounge area. They got whatever this is. The shower needs to be remodeled. They got a beautiful little reading nook. A hot tub. They got a freaking hot tub at a campground. It needs to be remodeled. The toilet needs to be remodeled badly. This is one of the cabins, another cabin. Again, they would probably need a bathroom added, a cabin. And man, that bunk bed is close to the ceiling. Wow. But I mean, I could just go on and on. This place is so cool, but 45 minutes from Ebisu, and the national land law notification really puts it out of possibility. Now here's some empty land. Just plain empty land. It comes with a bunch of forest, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of land for 80 grand. 80 grand. Yeah. Problem is, I don't think you can do anything with the forest. So the buildable portion of that lot is pretty useless. So yeah. Here's a house. It's another abandoned farmhouse. It needs work. The bathroom needs work. The toilet needs work. I like the urinal. I like that. A lot easier to aim when you're having a party. It's got some space, but I was having trouble. I mean, it says 5,000 meters squared, which is over an acre, but the problem with that, and the rooms are very well separated. You could easily separate those. I mean, there's hallways already into, little rental bedrooms, but I couldn't really find like a plat, like an overview that would show if there's room to build a garage. And if I don't have room to build a garage, I am not interested. So you see here, it looks like this is part of the land, but if that's a big hill, there's nothing I can do. This is a little house up on a hill. It's not very big, but it's got a bunch of terraces for gardening, I guess. Again, are they going to allow you to maybe build a garage on one of those terraces? I don't know, probably not. And then there's little to no rental rooms, but I saved it because I thought it was interesting. Now this house, this is 260,000, so that's over budget. That's way over budget, but it's a 16-room house. And there's room for parking. I don't think there'd be room to build a garage. This one, it's a smaller house. Maybe you could get 2 rental bedrooms out of it. And then it's got some land, but I don't know if you could build a garage back here. Maybe it's got a little parking cover, a brand new one at that. Okay, this one's super cool, but 280 grand's basically out of budget unless they would come way down on the price. I mean, it's abandoned, so why not? But it's been freshly remodeled. It's freaking beautiful. Beautiful. Even the bathroom's new. The sinks, I would get rid of the pink right away, but otherwise they look great. This is great. This is great. Yeah, I'd get rid of the pink. um, this is crazy. Like, look at this. Oh, nope. So the problem is there's very little information about this, but I found another listing of the same house from like a different realtor, I guess. They've probably been trying to sell this thing for a while. You can see that there is, I thought this listing was the one that had, yeah, there's actually some ground out here that you could potentially build a garage out of. I think this is the carport for this specific house. It does say 788, so 0.25 acres. So you'd be pretty cramped in there with if you, oh, something's leaking. Oh boy. Yeah. But anyway, satellite view can kind of zoom down in. So yeah, see that wall around the house. This looks like someone else's. Is that part of the house? Hold on. That can't be part of the house. No way. I did a lot of research. No, that's second floor. It wraps around and then it comes through and then no, yeah, whatever this is not included. But this shed here could be torn down and a proper garage built, or you could build a garage all along here so the carport is included. You could maybe rework this a little bit and try and put in like an L-shaped garage. But again, I mean, 280,000, no way. But what's cool is it's right here by the 115. So I would say 25-minute drive to Ebisu. So I kept that one. This is another abandoned farmhouse. The problem is this is field, meaning I think you're not allowed to build. This is field, meaning I think you're not allowed to build. And then forest, 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 meaning I think you're not allowed to build. So no wonder the houses are abandoned if you can't build. But look at all of these rooms you could turn into rentals. It's just how would I put a garage there? I don't know. It looks like there's some space, but not enough. This could be torn down, but you could maybe do a 2-car garage there. I don't know why they show pictures of the stations and stuff, but yeah, so satellite this in. Yeah, see, it's there's some cleared land right here, but if that's considered a field, then that's a field, not for building. So of course it's abandoned if you don't let us build. I understand. I do understand, but yeah. But it's $48,000. So this one is honestly a good possibility. It's suspicious when they don't show pictures of the inside. Okay. So that's it, guys. That's part 1. And like I said, part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, till I actually get the house and I'm living there is, that could be a year, 3 years, 5 years from now, but, long-term plans. But this is the last video with the terrible audio. So again, I apologize, but thank you so much for watching. We are hopefully going to have much more cool videos coming from Japan real soon. So the rest of the channel might be neglected quite heavily while I am aggressively saving money to start putting money into a house in Japan. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.